Hey everyone, this is the playthrough after I made that terrible chapter 9 mistake. I'm just gonna do it offline because I think we're close to the end of this game. Note to self, do not start by trying to edit your memory. But we'll go ahead and get started here. So I could use a spell right here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Alright. Here we go, boys. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. And what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We are not going to cast the forbidden spell again. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel somewhat of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up, and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry, reach for some old homework and give him a snack. The dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. We'll wait to see what happens. We're in culinary school, right? So I guess old homework's food? You reach into your backpack and grab some homework from last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles up the sheet of paper like a piece of fresh chicken rawhide. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfied like ungraded work. My Magikarp, were you studying with some cinnamon? I have been sitting on a lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Magikarp, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see... But before he can go on any further, Miriam's love drama spills all over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirs and sparks coming from the back of the room. I told you, save it after class. Bzz, bzz. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clink appear to be arguing. Turns out he's a pressure cooker. But you still haven't learned to speak Clink's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off your cool kid friends, Jeff and Joan. J&J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzz, bzz. Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. No matter how you try to angle it, it's not a great date. Beep. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can hold hands all you want as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Sad beep. Beep. Clink begins to shudder, steam pours out of the gaps of his pants, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep. No amount of seasoning can make me want to eat that, Clink. Clink burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker, considering that he himself has wheels and not feet. It's not entirely clear where that came from. So snuck in. Or he has some issues. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clink slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Because he's a pressure cooker, maybe he was under a lot of pressure, but nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead, the final competition Showdown challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Oh man, best friend. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay? I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke. Even if the source of frustration is a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not gonna saddle up to Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe, sorta. I mean, he is a hunk. But I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us. And whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank, or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first person to show a little interest, you know? Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm gonna make a very special soup. And I bet Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend time before your exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. The location of your final challenge. A test of will. A test of courage. A test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man and his eviler counterpart, Aisley. As planned, you begin to run through the quick tests of a recipe you've been working on. Magikarp's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you. And you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven, but as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by none other than Colonel Sanders. Magikarp, what are you doing here? There's still some time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and pushing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who's hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you cook-off. You decide it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that desire gets hard to stick to you when the oven timer goes off behind you. Well, I think the thing about this, we promised each other to be truthful to each other, right? And I feel like being truthful and just being like, hey, I actually made a dish. And just maybe he wants to taste the food. So we're gonna fess up about our practice dish. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You know, as a pot pie just from the smell? No, not just pot pie, but chicken pot pie with an all butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No. I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC, tender love and care. But it'll start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking. I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown's about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you've got! You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime, and you decide the mac and cheese plus the pot pie that you've been practicing are just the dishes that push you over to the edge of victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are prepping the wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. And Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect, his original recipe fried chicken. The intensity of the room starts at a full 10 out of 10, with a frenzy of action. Everyone's calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters chickens that levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients in itty-pitty pot of broth. Best friend baster blaster! Van flexes his pecs as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid! Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula! Even Clink gets on it. What the fuck? 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clink learn to speak English? It's a singularity as it was foretold. We mustn't let it happen or the appliance uprising will take us all. Van quickly unplugs Clink and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice that Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she gonna use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book on your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? I think we're doing it the hard way. We're gonna win this. We're gonna win this match. Win this match going hard. Always go hard all the way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm gonna do it the hard way because we always go hard. We're always hard all the time. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms. He gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Magical. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Magical, since we were little kids because I'm your best friend, BFF forever. You turn to notice Miriam's at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? You're here cheering. Who's cooking? Tiny food. Oh, tiny food, tiny short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. However, she doesn't know that you lied. And the ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she get an Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve, the Spork Monster. Steve? What happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork Monsters are many. I think Borko had a day off. But you conjured Steve and I hate to battle. So I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh. Hey, you're in the middle of cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? See the Spork Monster notice you've got the Grimoire stashed behind your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summon me, huh? Huh, yeah, you guess sort of. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always loved to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was a little sport pup back in the old country, you can feel a Spork Monster winding up telling you a very long and involved story, but you don't know exactly where they came from. But it seems like it was probably alone there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in mod school that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes a hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Give up and drop out of culinary? No, we're going to the end. You summon some extra power from deep down within myself. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for. Yes, Magikarp, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you have been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Bro, sorry. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground and energy courses through my body. You know what? You know that with this power, you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because when you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Magikarp, you may have suffered setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders suddenly decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you've managed to do is make mac and cheese time's almost up, and you're gonna need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What'll happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules never been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces, maybe we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students. With time expired, it's a moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems that we're missing some students. Pop. Clank. From off-screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. I'm flying! It sounds like it's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop's eliminated from challenge, seeing as he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. Can I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks, I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second, pranks? Pranks? Clank? Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature whir, beep, or onomatopoeia, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles in savory soup. My word, it's so delicate. Is that teeny tiny Naruto Maki I spy afloat in the itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles, and some green tea made from baby tea leaves I picked for myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not just one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I ever taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed and she gives you a hug. Thank you, Magikarp, for helping me believe in yourself. Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard and axe-hewn urchin shell, topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second different color type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Does it not look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close to count of all its spikes. He begins to pot it erratically, causing Custard to slosh around. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch, my tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it so difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified? For glamour? Don't discount the simplicity. This isn't the last you've heard of me. Before forcing it to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next to an Ashley, it's time to step up. Now describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight with light rosewater syrup, topped with French meringue, connected by sugar glass. That actually does not sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the fruit? At a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something, Magical? I told you, it's a display piece. Actually, I must say it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it, and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. I wanted to be judged on eating. I'd go to the College of Eating, school for the hungry. I suppose you can smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage takes over Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best. And this time, without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. Two chefs? What began as a delicious bowl of mac and cheese, has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I'd seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing, and completely blow me away. In my 49 years of dog life, I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, you get a pass, we all pass. Everyone gathers around, partakes in the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. This new menu item is so impressive that even Van and Ashley are drawn to it by its magnetic fragrance. And when they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone's passed. There's supposed to be more battles, but come on. How can they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone's graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as a site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog in the house! Oh, oh, oh! You knew that Sprinkles was the master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghost allowed at the graduation is clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you all to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And now that everyone's together, it's this pork monster. He's totally mellowed out. Everyone, this pork monster is no fun. From here on out, I prefer everyone to refer to me by my new name, The party monster. Student tries to finish what he said, but everyone's too wrapped up in talking to Spork. Sorry. Party monster. Dejected, student finally walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking. And you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out of the floor of the ballroom, and it's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop. He's arrived late to dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you can see a perch atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know that you weren't able to complete the final exam but accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get this new wig on the school. Not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such. The music of the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparkling and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who arrived to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's doing the talking thing. I am Clank. I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew this whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I have just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear that she has managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand, kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Ooh, okay. I'm digging the casual look of the Colonel. Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not just enough to give them a bucket of chicken. This time, it's a full meal. I didn't get to become the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. The end? No, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting atop the edge of the dance floor. Colonel Sanders? Yes, Magical? I couldn't help but wonder. Was our final exam team up purely an act of strategy carried out by two cunning chefs, or was it something much more? I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this do-si-do? Colonel Sanders extended his hands to you, and you feel a surge of energy jump through the tips of his fingers. His hand, the hand of a master chef so dedicated to the craft of fine cookery, so tender yet refined, so milky smooth. Fingers like finely battered drumsticks turned into flour, soaked in buttermilk and dusted with exotic spices. But they do not reach for the tongs, a knife, or even a spork. Tonight they reach for me. And though our feet may tire dancing, I believe that this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, will you not only join me on the dance floor, but in the kitchen as my co-chef, partner, in both business and in life? Me? Could it be? Is he really saying me and you together? Ever since I met you, my dreams changed. It's not enough to simply open the world's greatest chain of fried chicken restaurants. No, even then, my life would be incomplete without you by my side. So, what do you say, partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders. The end. And I guess that is the end. Hope people like that playthrough. That was part 3 of this game. Really enjoyable game. I do want to eat some chicken after this, but hopefully everyone... I mean, this definitely wasn't a sponsored stream. I literally played it because it was pretty cool. But yeah, we finally finished the date with the Colonel, and hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Alright. Peace, y'all.